Okay, we are recording now. First thing you're going to do when considering your speech is you're going to choose your topic. And it's very important that you understand that this topic is determined by the occasion, the audience, and the speaker's qualifications. Sources for your topics are what you already know, what you're interested in and want to know more about, as well as something that you hold strong opinions and beliefs. Because if you're not interested, don't really care about it, it's going to come through in your delivery. Second thing you want to do in the steps to speech making is you want to determine the general purpose. Okay. Determine your general purpose. And it will either be to inform someone, to persuade someone, or to entertain someone. And we're going to see later on in the semester that entertaining has various types. So entertainment speech have various types. But it's going to be one of those three. Now, when you inform your audience, you're acting as a teacher. Okay? You're going to communicate the information clearly, accurately, and interestingly. And you're going to enhance the knowledge and understanding of the listener. That's what your informative speeches do. You're not going to include your opinions about a matter. You're just going to give us the facts so that you can increase our knowledge and understanding about something. When you are persuading your audience, you're acting as an advocate. Okay? The goals in a persuasive speech are to change the attitudes or actions of your listeners. Okay? You want to get the listener to believe or do something. Okay, so once we've determined our general purpose, a topic and our general purpose, the next thing we do is we narrow down and determine the specific purpose. And the specific purpose is basically the main goal for your presentation. The function is that it gives the precise information the speaker wants the audience to know or believe after the speech is over. Number one, it indicates what kind of response you want from your audience. Okay, so you're going to focus on the clearly defined aspect of the topics and express it as a single infinitive phrase that includes your audience. Okay, so that means it's going to start with the word to, T-O. Okay, T-O. It's not a full sentence, it's an infinitive phrase. Number two, your specific purpose identifies what you want the listeners to understand, believe, or do. Now, there's 5 tips that we have here on the screen that you should consider when you're forming a good specific purpose, right? Number 1, you want to limit to one distinct idea. Again, the specific purpose reveals the single main point of the speech. The second of the 5 tips is you want to phrase your specific purpose as a statement and not a question. Never, ever should your specific purpose be phrased as a question. Number 3, you want to avoid being too vague, okay, or general. As the name implies, be specific when stating the purpose of your speech. Number 4, I think we covered this one already, right? Infinitive phrase, a single thought that begins with the general purpose. So it's always going to start off with whatever your general purpose is. So the word to, T-O, as well as what is your general purpose? Inform, persuade, or entertain. And lastly, you want to avoid figurative language, meaning slang language, because again, we want to communicate the information clearly, accurately, and interestingly, right? We want to get people to change their attitudes or beliefs, or we want to entertain them. And to do that, we have to give the precise information the speaker wants the audience to know or believe after the speech is over. So if you're using slang, everybody might not be, or slang or figurative language, everyone might not understand what you mean. So you have to be specific. Any questions so far? So let's look at some examples. So the first one we have here is to persuade my audience to become dream mentors and donate to the MCC food bank. So why do you think that's not a good specific purpose? Anybody? Why is this not a good specific purpose that we have here on the screen? It doesn't limit to one distinct idea, right? There's 2 ideas here. You want to persuade your audience to become dream mentors, and you want your audience to donate to the food bank. So rather, and you can see here what you would do. These are 2 separate specific purposes. The first one would be to persuade my audience to become dream mentors. That period really shouldn't be there because it's not a sentence, it's an informative phrase. Okay. The second would be to persuade students of 3 reasons to donate to the MCC food bank. But you cannot have more than one idea in your specific purpose. And we're going to find when we get to central ideas, the same rule applies. Okay, so we talked about how it must be an infinitive phrase, right? So this sentence, wireless dog fence technology, what really is that? It's not a specific purpose. It's not a good specific purpose. What would you say that is? We covered it on the first thing you have to do for speech making. Anybody?
Excuse me, I'm sorry to interrupt, but there's no PowerPoint playing.
There's no PowerPoint playing?
No.
I asked you guys, did you see it?
It's up and being shown. It's just not moving, like going from slide to slide to slide. Like it's frozen.
You can't see this one? Okay, maybe I'll have to pick it like this. Okay, let's go back. Did it change? What do you see on the screen?
I see the files and the PowerPoint in the corner, but that's about it.
Okay.
That's what I see as
Let me
well.
open it up for you. Okay. How about now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Sorry about that. Okay, so we started here. Did the slide change? It should
Yes.
say general purpose now. Okay. Okay, specific purpose. Do you see that? Again, this is in the Blackboard, so you'll be able to go back and see it. Okay, here's the first example that I was speaking about. To persuade my audience to become dream mentors and donate to the MCC Food Bank. Can everybody see that? Raise your hand. Okay. And it's actually two separate specific purposes because you can only have one distinct idea. So the first one would be to persuade my audience to become dream mentors. The second one is to persuade students to donate to the MCC Food Bank. But you can't have two ideas in one specific purpose. You have to decide what it is you want the audience to know. Okay, this is where we were when I was asking the question. Wireless dog fence technology. What is that? It's not a specific purpose. Why is it not a specific purpose? Anyone? Do you know why it's not a specific purpose, given the rules that we talked about for a specific purpose? This is more of a topic, right? Wireless dog fence. To turn it into a specific purpose, you must start with the infinitive to. Okay. And then you make it an infinitive phrase by adding on your general purpose: to inform, to persuade, to entertain. Okay. My audience, because when we talked about the rules, we talked about that you have to express it in a single infinitive phrase that includes your audience. So to inform my audience how to train a dog to stay contained using wireless fence technology. Number 3, what's wrong with this quote specific purpose? I need you to participate.
It's a question.
Yes. Okay. And to turn it into a good specific purpose, you would start it off as an infinitive phrase, include your audience, and then tell us what you want us to know about the historical evolution of Prescott, Arizona's New Year's Eve Boot Drop Festival. Okay. So it's very important that you understand, when we talked about not being too vague or too general, that you don't just say, to inform my audience about. Prescott, Arizona's New Year's Eve Boot Drop Festival, right? That's too general. It's too broad. It's not specific enough. What are you going to tell us about the New Year's Eve Boot Drop Festival? Well, I'm going to tell you about the historical evolution. Okay? That's key. A lot of students leave that part out. And it's not going to be a good specific purpose if you do. Okay, to persuade my audience that Netflix user account restrictions really stink. Okay, so literally stink has to do with smell, right? It's figurative. You can't use figurative or slang language in your specific purpose, nor in your central idea. So a better specific purpose might be to persuade my audience that Netflix's user account restrictions are short-sighted restrictions that impact potential ad revenue. See the difference? Okay, and finally, to persuade my audience that something should be done about Mercer County's student drop-off space. Why do you think that's not a good specific purpose? Anyone? Why do you think that's not good?
Too vague.
Yeah, you need to tell us what should be done, right? To persuade my audience that a safer, more convenient, and effective space for student drop-offs should be made available on campus. Okay. So then we move to the central idea. Okay. You, your audience, and your context becomes your specific purpose statement. And from there, we generate our central idea. Okay. The specific purpose and the central idea are connected, but they're not the same. Okay, the specific purpose, an example of a specific purpose might be to inform my classmates of the benefits of participating in a semester-long internship. But a central idea for such a specific purpose would be spending a semester working for a local company or nonprofit will help you gain experience for your resume, learn about your field, and make connections with employees and potential employers. Okay. When you are developing your central idea is your main message. It is a concise statement of what the speaker expects to say in the speech. So the specific purpose is what we expect that what the speaker wants the listeners to know after the speech. And your central idea is what the speaker expects to say in the speech. It's more precise than the topic and the specific purpose, and it sums up the speech in a single statement. A lot of people also refer to it as a thesis statement. I'm pretty sure you've heard of thesis statements in your English classes. Okay. But the central idea encapsulates the main points to be developed in the speech. That's why you saw in the working outline that I told you to take a look at, okay, where I have your central idea as it is written, as well as your central idea as it is spoken. And generally they can be different. Okay. You see here in this example, we are very clear about what it is we're talking about. The main points are included here. So the first main point would be spending a semester working for a local company or nonprofit will help you gain experience for your resume. The second main point would be spending a semester working for a local company or nonprofit will help you to learn about your field. And then finally, that third main point is going to be spending a semester working for a local company or nonprofit will help you to make connections with employees and potential employers. Okay. The central idea is what the speaker wants the audience to remember when they have forgotten everything else about the speech. It reveals more about the content of the speech than the specific purpose does. And it's important for you to understand that this usually crystallizes late in the process of preparing your speech. Why? Because you have to do some research to come up with those three main points. Okay? So after you do your research, you may say, okay, well, these are the things that I want to say. So at first you're going to have some type of idea about the main points you're going to include in your speech. But after you do your research, you're going to be clear about what those main points are. All the information that you obtain during your research, you're not going to use because you're going to find, well, that doesn't really fit. So don't try to fit it where it doesn't. So after you've done that research, you know exactly what you want to talk about, then you can go back, tweak that central idea to something like this as your written central idea. Okay. The criteria for central ideas, they must be in complete sentences. Okay. A full, possibly complex, complete sentence with proper punctuation. It must be a declarative statement, meaning it cannot be a question. You need to avoid being too vague or too technical. And too technical, we're going to see over time, is when you're trying to talk to a broad audience about something that's very specific. I had a student one time give a speech about computers, and it really didn't fit the audience. It was too technical for the audience. They used a lot of jargon and did not explain it, and the audience was lost. So you have to be mindful of that. You can't be too vague and you can't be too technical. Another thing you want to do is you want to capture the major idea of the speech. Express each main point. Okay. When done correctly, you practically write the preview of the body of the speech. Okay. And we're going to go over that some as well. And then finally, you're going to avoid figurative language. No slang, for the same reasons we talked about in the specific purpose. Okay, so here's some examples. To persuade my audience that a safer, more convenient, and effective space for student drop-offs should be made available on campus. And that's a specific purpose. The central idea might be a traffic circle at the front of the Mercer County campus will be a safer space for student drop-offs that will provide for more effective access to academic buildings on campus. They go hand in hand, they're not the same. All right. Again, this PowerPoint will be available for you to go back again to revisit it. Any questions? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put you in groups. I'm going to give you 10 minutes. And I'm going to give you 3 topics. So write down these 3 topics. The first one is the first one is 1 Liberty Place, Philadelphia, PA. 1 Liberty Place, Philadelphia, PA. The second one is how a bill gets through Congress. The third one is political conversation. All right. Now, when I put you in your groups, you're going to decide which one of those 3 topics you're going to speak about. Okay. Then you're going to write a specific purpose for it, as well as you're going to write a central idea for it. Okay. Again, I'm going to give you 10 minutes, and then we're going to come back and we're going to present it. And as a group, you all are going to decide who's going to speak for the group. Okay? Ready? See how many people we have. 1, 2. Okay. I'm going to put you in your groups. 10 minutes. I'll bring you back. If you don't automatically get in, click the join button to get in. Mhm. Okay, looks like everybody's back now. I'm just now seeing your chats. I can't really see them and read them while I'm lecturing. So, whoever just came on, mute yourself because we can hear a lot of background noise. I think that's you, Yusra. Okay. Um, so if you have a question, click on the raise hand, or you can just unmute yourself and tell me that you can't see. Okay? You don't have to wait for a response on the chat because it's a little difficult for me to see the chat while I'm lecturing. All right, group one, Alvin, Karen, and Meg. Who's your speaker?
I will be the speaker.
Okay, May is the speaker.
Mhm.
Let me
So
change the
we
view before you start.
discuss about political topic. For a specific purpose, we said that to engage in a respectful discussion about importance of voters and participation in elections. And for the central idea of the topic, we said encouraging for more people to vote is crucial for a healthy government, as it ensures like diverse voices are heard and represented, and it allows for like a thoughtful exchange of ideas while remaining respectful and of like different opinions, and people can share statistics, personal experience, and encourage more questions to keep the conversation flowing for the
Okay.
speech.
All right, good. Next group, Amir, Kiara, and Yusra. Am I pronouncing that right, Yusra?
It's Yusra, but you can just call me Yusi.
Yusi?
Yeah,
Okay, but you said it's Yusra?
Yusra, like
Yusra. Okay,
like yo, yo, like a yo-yo.
okay.
Yusra. Yeah.
But you said we can call you Yusi.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So are you the speaker for the group?
I'm not Kiara was, but I can say uh what it is.
Okay. Well, is Kiara still here?
I think so.
All right. Let's let Kiara go since you democratically elected her.
Okay.
Okay. Mute yourself. Okay, good. Okay, Kiara, what's the topic you picked?
All right, so the topic that we picked was how a bill gets through Congress. And the central idea was just
Oh
to,
no, specific purpose first.
okay, the specific purpose is for a bill just basically is a crucial mechanism for proposing and enacting a law, but the crucial purpose is just
Wait a minute. Now, what do we say the specific purpose always starts with?
to,
Right.
okay,
Okay,
so
let's go. And what follows it? What follows the infinitive to?
the idea,
The general purpose,
the general purpose, yes.
which is
Okay, so
either to inform, persuade, or entertain. Okay, so let's try it again.
So the purpose is to inform how a bill passes through the Congress and the steps that it has to take in order to either be, vetoed or passed as a law. And
Tell me your specific purpose again.
the specific purpose is to inform how a bill gets passed through the Congress and the steps that it has to take between houses and who has to review it and
Okay, so seems like you got two ideas there, right? So you're gonna have to narrow that down to one thing. And there are ways that you can change it to make it one idea, excluding the word and putting things like that, which.
okay. So to inform how a bill passes through Congress which is passed through certain people, houses, and processes before it's either vetoed or passed through as a law.
Okay, so basically your specific purpose is to inform the audience how a bill is passed.
Yes.
Okay. Or to inform the audience of 3 facts involving how a bill is passed. Okay. The rest of the stuff really belongs in your specific purpose. I mean, in your central idea.
Mm.
Okay, so tell me what your central idea.
We didn't really discuss it.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Fair enough. All right, let's go to the third group, which is Andrew, Jason, and Ruby.
Hi. Hey, all right. So we were in it too, trying to figure this out. So for the specific purpose, well, we chose the one about Congress. So the specific purpose was to inform the steps it takes for a bill to get through Congress. And then the central idea was for a bill to get through Congress, only a member of Congress can introduce a bill for consideration. And then we're gonna, for a bill to get through Congress, the appropriate committee or committees considers the bill in detail. And then for a bill to get through Congress, it is there was one more step. The bill is then placed on the legislation calendar for the House and Senate and scheduled for floor action and debate before the full membership.
Okay, that's good. So you would use that first sentence that you said for a bill to get through Congress. It has to, 1, the first thing you told us, 2, the second thing you told us, and then the third thing you told us.
Right.
All in one sentence.
Right.
But that was good. That was a good try.
Okay.
Okay, and the last group, Jaden and Catherine.
Okay, I guess I'll speak. So our topic was the one Liberty Place from the PA. And the one Liberty Place that we talk about was the Liberty Bell.
Okay, so what's your specific purpose?
So the specific purpose would be to inform the audience about the bell itself. And the central idea would be, so the only sentence I have so far is the Liberty Bell could be a great tourist attraction because it inspires people about freedom and equality.
Okay. Now, if you were making that as a written sentence, you would have 2 more main ideas, or at least 1 more, because a speech is not just one main idea, right? Main ideas and central ideas are different things. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The main points, I shouldn't say idea because it kind of confuses main points. So the one main point that you gave was, tell us again.
The Liberty Bell could be a great tourist attraction. Is that the main idea? Because it inspires people about freedom and equality.
Okay. So basically your central idea is going to be to inform my audience of 3 reasons why, and it really is a persuasive, but we didn't get that far yet, so don't worry about that. Okay, to persuade my audience why, of 3 reasons why one Liberty Place could be a great tourist spot.
Okay.
See the difference?
Yeah.
And now your central idea is going to incorporate those details. Okay. 3 reasons why the one Liberty Place could be a very interesting tourist place to visit is because you can look at this, you can see the Liberty Bell. You can see where Rocky ran up the steps. You can see whatever reasons that you had Those would be the main ideas that you would include in that central idea. Okay, got it?
Yep, got it. Thank
Okay,
you.
all right. Okay, so quickly, because we're almost to the end of the class, I did want to talk about, that was a good try, everybody. Very good try. Again, go into lesson 2 and you can revisit the PowerPoint. As well, I've put a checklist for central ideas in there for you. So you can go through and make sure your central idea has all those things. Okay? Now, your next speech is going to be your impressive person speech. Okay? And this is basically an informative speech without the research. So it's that practice. And speaking of practice, everybody who did their first speech, you get the full 100 points because you don't really know a whole lot right now, right? So the effort is what you're getting graded on, that you actually did it. So for those of you who didn't do it, okay, you got till today to do it to get that extra, to get that 100 points, okay? Now, next week, you're going to deliver the introduction to your impressive person speech. And I want you to go into the, I think it's week 3 that has the actual template, okay? That has the actual template in it. And in your introduction, you are going to include the attention getter, and you're going to see all this in the sample. You're going to reveal the topic. You're going to include a statement of credibility, and you're going to preview the body of the message. So just let me share briefly what that looks like. Okay, can everybody see our class? Our Blackboard class? Raise your hand.
Yes.
Okay, that's week 2. So there is a sample of the working outline, but that's not the template I'm talking about. The template that I'm talking about, I believe, is in week 3. Okay, so here's the instructions for the impressive person. Introduction. Everybody's going to deliver their introduction next week. And you see those things I spoke about, they are here. Okay. Quickly, I just want to show you this template. Okay, here it is. See, everybody see the template? It's in green. Okay. So you are going to deliver your impressive person from your impressive person speech, just the introduction portion. And in here, you'll see it's giving you directions and what should be in each section. Okay. I also did include attention getting devices in Blackboard. I'm not sure exactly which one, but check 1, 2, or 3. It's in there. All right. Attention getting devices. So your preparation outline is going to look like this. However, we didn't get that far yet. Just worry about the introduction portion. Okay. Everybody clear on that? Again, post your video for personal challenges. It's easy, about 100 points, okay? And you need to do that by today. And you need to go in tomorrow is the last day for peer review. So you have to review 3 people. So make 3 comments on 3 people's speeches, and you can pick any ones that you want. Okay. And your working outline for the impressive person speech is due on Friday. All right. The working outline. Any questions? Kept you over 6 minutes. Sorry about that. Any questions at all? If you have questions, you can wait till after class. If you have some. But okay, go ahead.
Is that introduction, is that something we need to do and turn in?
You don't have to turn it in, but you're going to practice next week.
Okay.
So it's really a practice.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Any other questions? Okay, everybody. And if you already did your impressive person working outline, since we had this class, you probably might want to go back again and tweak it some to incorporate what we discussed today. All right. We accept 2nd, 3rd attempts. All right. Have a great week, everybody. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me.
Thank you.
You're welcome.